All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is this? What are you going to call this, McMahon? I don't know. It's got too many names. It's the Seiko Prospex SBDX047, and you can also call it the SLA 051 1970 Uemura diver. You can also call it the 44mm Captain Willard. You can see that gray dial there. Now, I've had this watch for about 2 months and 1 day, and someone who watches my channel wanted a rundown, wanted the likes and dislikes. I thought that was a good idea. After 2 months, just see it, get that dial there, and I wanted to process my general impressions, my specific impressions for a while. I think 2 months is enough time to do this. So I've come up with 13 likes and 4 dislikes of the Seiko. Definitely a keeper, definitely not a flipper. Let's do a spoiler right here. I'm not flipping it. You get a watch like this, you don't flip it. A little upset with Seiko right now, though, for other reasons. For those of you watching my previous previous video. So let's come up with the 13 likes. Number 1, I like the 1970 retro heritage. It celebrates the 80th birthday of an explorer. His name is Uemura, a famous adventurer who by himself went to the North Pole. And if you're from Japan, you're not going to call this the Captain Willard. You're going to call this the Uemura diver. If you're American, you'll know that the 1970 Seiko called the 6105. The 6105 version was worn by Martin Sheen playing Captain Willard in the movie Apocalypse Now. Now, there is a 42mm version that has an inferior movement, which mine is in the Seiko dealership in New Jersey, so to speak. It's twice because they smudged up the crystal underneath the crystal. I wasn't that thrilled with it. The dimensions, though, of this SBDX047 are exactly the dimensions of the 1970 6105. So this is the official reimagined Captain Willard. This is official. Keep it out of the glare there. So I really like the retro heritage. Number 2, the retro design is both very distinctive and timeless. It's not a fad. I'm not going to get sick of it. I love the that it's different, sort of turtle-esque, which brings us to number 3. Very comfortable with that turtle case. Great weight distribution, no flop, no sharp points. Absolutely comfortable. Number 4, I admire the refinement and polish. Very much in line with a watch at this price point. These watches are about $2,600, depending on where you go, depending on sales. Number 5, the 44mm Captain Willard has watch integrity. What is watch integrity? Well, let's take the Seiko Sumo. It doesn't have watch integrity. It has a nice case. And then it's got a really cheap bracelet that rattles, that has a stamped clasp. And you know, there are some watches by Seiko, I call them Frankenstein watches. There's no watch integrity. It's just a hodgepodge of parts. You don't get that sense right here. And I'm going to put it down. Keep it out of the glare. Keep it right out of the glare there. So, I don't know why, but when I hold it, just like at that angle, you can see it better. But number 6, love the 8L35 movement based on a Grand Seiko movement. Very accurate. What are you losing? 8 seconds a day? It's ridiculous. It's so nice. Really makes me not want to get some of those lower tier models. Look at that nice angle there. Number 8. Wait a minute. Number 7. I love the gray dial in all lighting conditions. Now the The 42 Captain Willard you can get in a variety of dial colors. My black one is in the Seiko dealership again because they put smudges and dust under the crystal. Okay, number 8. Lume is very good, not MM300 good, not tuna good, but very good. It's very good. So, okay, that's good. I'm cool with that. Versatility, dressy, casual. Love the versatility. Number 10, I miss wearing it when it's not on. It feels really good to put it on. And man, I miss it during my 2 weeks in San Francisco. I really missed it quite a bit. So it's one of those watches, you got to wear it. You want to wear it. Number 11, the longer I own it, the more I like it. Number 12, okay, number 12 is crazy. Come on, McMahon. Okay. Number 12, it fulfills the upper tier anti-accumulation principle. What? Come on, McMahon, seriously? The upper tier anti-accumulation principle, what is that? The upper tier anti-accumulation principle makes the claim, and only a watch nerd would say something like this, it makes the claim that the high-end watch will inoculate you from compulsively accumulating inferior lower tier watches. Wow, what a mouthful, McMahon. Yeah, well, so far the principle is proven correct. So I'm using that as number 12, the upper tier anti-accumulation principle. All right, number 13. Number 13. It passed the box queen test. I've had it for 2 months. I love wearing it. It doesn't just sit in the box like a box queen. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you identify me with the Seiko tuna. I've had a half a dozen tunas over the last 10, 11 years. And I really tried wearing them. I would wear them like once every couple weeks. And I just couldn't connect with them. And I want to explain something to you. A straight quartz watch is really hard for me to connect with. You know, everyone's different. And I want to present to you the wall clock principle. The wall clock principle claims that for some of us, a quartz watch doesn't connect with us, but rather feels like an artificial appendage, a sort of wall clock inappropriately dangling from our wrist. This is a very disconcerting feeling for some of us. And this is not my idea. It was Carlos. Carlos is thinking of selling his tuna for the same reason. And so, what about solar quartz watches? Well, the solar quartz watch is a different principle. This is the claim that while solar doesn't connect with you like a mechanical, it is not as egregious as a straight quartz watch. At least with a solar watch, you can soak it with sunlight, which is analogous to watering your houseplants. McMahon, you got back from San Francisco and you lost your mind with a solar quartz print. You got some weird principles in this watch review, McMahon. I'm worried about you, McMahon. Who are you? Who's talking to me right now? Huh? So there you go. So 4 dislikes. Date window's too small. Can't see it, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I never use date windows on any watches. Nope, I don't use them. 2, the lume is really good, but I wish it were M300 or tuna good. You know, I'm lume greedy. Number 3, another principle for number 3. Yes, the price point violates the sweet spot pricing principle. What the heck is that? The sweet spot pricing principle states that the sweet spot for spending money on a watch is about $1,000. Any watch you wear could be a doorknob basher, a doorknob banger. You try to be mindful, eventually you could bang into a doorknob or the equivalent. A watch is essentially a chunky piece of wrist art that doubles as a doorknob banger or the equivalent. Do you really want to spend close to $3,000 or more on a chunky piece of wrist art? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the decision is yours, man. You're going to have to make that decision on your own. This is some really nice wrist art here. Beautiful piece of art there. Number 4, servicing. Servicing. Ladies and gentlemen, fewer local watch techs are servicing Seikos. Either the Seiko owners are too fussy, or there are no available parts, so Seikos go to the American Seiko dealership in New Jersey. My experience with that dealership and the testimonials of people who subscribe to my channel, who comment on my channel, the testimonial is not positive. Sending your Seiko to the dealership in New Jersey is like going to a Soviet bloc hospital in the 1980s. You come out of the hospital worse than when you entered it. And so that is very disconcerting, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not too happy about the idea of servicing this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be 60 years old in about 2 weeks. Exactly 2 weeks. And I'll tell you what, maybe when I'm 70, I'll have to service this. I'm hoping I have some good solutions by then, ladies and gentlemen. So anyways, it's a keeper. I think I'll do the same type of treatment with my my MM300 blue dial, which is not a flipper. Overall, gorgeous watch. I hope I covered all your bases. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, I am out.